So Laura was going to enter us with the singing bowls because she's got to leave early, so she can't close with those. So if that's okay, we would get started.
If everybody would mute.
She's saying? Everybody mute, she said? Hmm?
Laura, you muted yourself.
There we go.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Noelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And thank you for that, Laura. My whole body's kind of buzzing right now. I was grounded before, but that really felt great. Thank you. Okay, so first I would recommend, if you don't already have a very cute pussycat or pen and paper in front of you, to get some for the exercise that we're going to do. If you're somebody who would like to take notes, I can be extremely forgetful like 3 seconds later, it's gone. So I tend to write everything down so I don't lose it, and I don't have the anxiety or the distraction of trying to remember. So if you relate to that, paper and pen or pencil would be great, or if you want to type, feel free. Um, okay. And I'm going to ask all of you, so what, um, Paula, was that you that you took that mediumship class? Laura. Laura
Laura and myself.
and Cindy. Okay. So one of the things I would,
Mediumship class together.
sorry, you're really breaking up, Cindy. There you are.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good. I'm just going to suggest to everybody that you use suspended disbelief. Suspended disbelief. I had no reason to believe that anybody was going to try to contact me, that I have any kind of, propensity to be able to receive information more than anybody else. And then I see how common it is that all of us can get info. So we're just going to assume, for the purpose of our exercise, that all of us are just as intuitive and likely to pick up on stuff as anybody else. And I really mean that. And I have a couple of tips. Anytime you're trying to be more connected to spirit and trying to receive information, you want to try to not think as much as possible. And also, the first piece of information that you get, so just remember, when we were all younger and took tests, we were told that the first answer that comes to mind is likely the most correct one. And this is a similar way to look at it, is that you might ask a question or not even form a question, and information is already coming to you. And it's so easy to say, no, that was too easy. Let me try again. So my motto is, don't throw away the first pancake. That first hit that you get is your first pancake. I have a couple of food references, but don't throw it away. That's the information. I feel like as a medium, and I've really been working on my mediumship more intensely, probably since about 2017. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn, is that first little millisecond of info, that's the info. And if you don't deliver that, you'll end up going back and kicking yourself a little that you knew what the right answer was, or you knew that piece of information. It's like the moon pie. The first time I saw it, I was like, really? But you know what? I had no context for moon pies and Mark, or moon pies and a celebration of life. And I'm also a vegan, so I'm not thinking moon pies. But I'm going with it because that's what I got, and I don't question what I got. Sally, are you getting chills?
Which Sally are you speaking to?
You. Are there two Sallys?
There are two Sallys.
Oh, the other Sally doesn't have her name there. Okay.
No, I was not getting chills. I have
Oh, okay.
experience with receiving, so I just had a scratch.
Okay, just checking. That's what it looks like when somebody comes in on me, is I suddenly get a big chill. And all of our senses are used, as I'm sure you all know, to receive information, but it can be confusing and a little bit weird. I have somebody in spirit that connects with me that just recently started giving me a little massaging feeling at the bottom part of my left shoulder blade. I don't know, but it's happened consistently, and I've checked in to see who it is. But things that seem weird happen, and we don't want to throw away any information. Everything that comes through is information for us. So if anybody's interested, I actually wrote a book recently. I self-published it through Amazon, and it's called Mediumship Foundations, a condensed guide for the absolute beginner. And this is basically a condensed version of what I teach in a 12-week class. I sometimes break things down into small bits for the class, depending on the audience of the class. But practice is a big part of learning. But this is everything from setting boundaries to all of the clairs, examples of things that can come through your sensory system, like music or high-pitched sounds, and all of the things that would sum up into how spirit works to communicate with us. So it's condensed because it's brief. It's like 56 pages, and my goal is for people with possibly adult ADD like myself to be able to read something quickly. So if it sat in your bathroom, just saying, you might have it read in a week. I wanted to get right to the point because I don't have a great attention span, and a lot of us don't anymore. So, and just a little bit of background on me. I did not hear dead people. I don't usually use that term, but I didn't hear dead people when I was a little girl. I know some of the famous mediums on TV talk about those kinds of experiences that they had when they were in the crib. I wasn't that person. I mean, I was probably as intuitive as anybody here or anybody else in general. But I was interested in being more connected with my grandparents after a big life change. And I went to a spiritualist church hearing about angel messages, and I got completely sucked in and took classes and healing classes and fell in love with mediumship and healing and all of those things. And I was treated for breast cancer in 2015, and it really froze my brain. I mean, I'm better now. I still have some residual brain fog. So it was a blessing in disguise, as a lot of big things. It made me use my intuition and rely on it kind of completely, because I could not make a decision like at all. I couldn't remember anything. And it's all good. It propelled me to do this kind of work. And so I got trained in medical intuition, and I didn't realize, but that was a whole awakening of mediumship skills. And I don't want to encourage people who have cognitive issues that mediumship or intuition is the answer for them, but it certainly has been for me, and I could see how it benefit a lot of people. And that's just become my life since, and I could not be happier about it. And I'm still a little floored that I get to do this. My husband supports us, so I have a lot of freedom to do things, and I'll be doing more books and classes. If you're interested in other services that I provide or following along, my website, as Nikki put in the email, is connectingwithnoelle.com. But it's not about connecting with me. It was meant to be connecting like ... with Noelle, that I would be helping people connect. And my goal really isn't to do necessarily mediumship readings for people. I want to empower people to be able to connect with their loved ones for themselves, so that they can have access to that every day. I just think that's beautiful and amazing, and what I'm dedicating my life to. So with that said, I think we should jump in. Nikki, is there anything else I should mention before we do?
No, I think we're good.
Okie doke.
Uh,
Okay,
Can you put the name of your book in the chat?
of course.
It's in the email.
It's
That's
in
true.
what?
There's a picture of it in the
The newsletter.
in the newsletter and email.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Yeah.
didn't catch that. Okay, great.
Okay. And you're going to see me move around. I have a few video series on my website, and one of them is to use your body as a pendulum or energy testing. And I do that with everything. So you're going to just sort of see me bobbing around. So this is my yes. And I often ask, hey, am I getting this right? Okay, phew. And this, please show me a no. So that's my no. So, and I'll just be doing that throughout. I just kind of do it organically at this point. If you would want to find your own yes and no, please check out my free video series on my website about using yourself as a pendulum, and you could find your own, as well as empath self-care. Very important. Okay. So, okay. So let's all get comfortable in our seats. Excuse me. And let's do 3 big breaths in and 3 big relieving breaths out. And when you let your breath out, really try to deliberately let your body relax. Bring your shoulders down, let your stomach relax, your legs, your feet, your hands, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Our goal is to have a state of awareness with relaxation. Another breath in. Anything you're feeling in your body, if you have an ache or a pain, you just want to be aware of what you're feeling now. And this is your baseline. So when we do open up more to connect, anything different that you feel is your part of your information. Let's bring our attention into our chest and our heart center. See if you can notice either your heart beating or maybe a throbbing in your chest. But that can be a great sign of feeling very connected to yourself. If you notice something different than that, just go with that. Feel aware of your feet resting on the earth. Your hips and your back and feeling supported by the chair that you're sitting in. Feel your hands and whatever they're touching. Feel your face. If you're wearing glasses, feel the glasses on your face, the clothes on your body. Really stepping into this level of awareness. As we all know, grounding with a group is even more powerful than doing it on our own. So that should be enhancing our experiences. We're going to set our intention that only information that is for the highest good of all, the highest good of all, of everybody here, of everybody's growth and development, only that is allowed to come through. We ask that our spiritual teams come in close to support us. And if you have any other intention, please say that in your head now, or anything else that you need to do, please do that. We're just going to sit here for a moment. Okay, if there's anything in your head right now rolling around, please write that down on your paper so that you don't have to keep thinking about it. I happen to be hearing a song I was just listening to, so I don't know yet if that's a message for me. So I'm going to see if it keeps bouncing back. Okay, and it is sticking. So this is part of where we're going to start today. So the song it's a song, I believe, from the 80s. It's called It's a Beautiful Life. It's a very upbeat kind of dance song, but it has a beautiful message, of course. And let's sit in the energy of declaring, acknowledging, it is a beautiful life. Bringing in the energy of gratitude and appreciation. Appreciation for ourselves that we took on the enormous task of coming to Earth and dealing with all that is part of being in the Earth School. Appreciating our spiritual team, our ancestors and loved ones that support us every day, especially when we let them be a bigger part of our lives. And an appreciation for community of like-minded individuals taking the time and making the effort to come together, as you all are and do regularly. And seeing our presence as a contribution to the energy of the whole and the collective. At this point, I'm channeling, so these are not my sentiments necessarily. I mean, they are also, but okay. And I'm being shown a visual of a young woman who is, how do I say this? So imagine a young woman being able to, just using her finger, wherever she's standing, drawing a very large figure 8. But it's not just using her finger. There's something about fire or high intensity energy in what she's doing and her intention about it. And this idea is coming in about being impressed upon for all of us, the connectivity of this 8, this spiral, this coming together, this idea of things coming back around for each and every one of us. This includes synchronicities, our knowing, relationships and life lessons that go hand in hand, even feeling renewed as people, like a renewed sense of appreciation of being in this life, a renewed sense of falling in love again with nature and flowers and scents. And right now, just also feeling appreciation for the bodies that we're in. They allow us to stay here. They are magnificent vehicles. And now we're going to connect with our team. So if it feels right to you, please invite your higher self to come in very close to you. Now, you may use a different term, might be a guardian angel or a guide. Whatever feels right to you, ask them to come in close. Notice anything that you're experiencing right now. A lot of times, like the shoulder blade thing I was mentioning earlier, we or people in spirit can have calling cards. Sometimes when my guide is getting in touch with me, I get a high-pitched sound in my left ear. It doesn't have to be that, and there are different things that come through, but we want to be aware of what it feels like when these beings are really close to us, what we feel, what we hear, what we see. And I want you to ask this dedicated spiritual being to share any messages that are for your highest good with you right now, in whatever way they can. Don't throw away the first pancake. And we'll give them a few minutes to do that. This can be a smell, a sound, a feeling, a knowing, whatever you get. If you have a question for them, please ask that in your head and see what you get from that. So when you pick up on something, maybe write that down, and that might kind of clear the space for the next piece of information to come through. Once they know that you've received that message or that first visual, let's say, as an example. And when it feels like the information has stopped flowing to you, you can ask, is there anything else that you want to share about this? Or in whatever way you want to ask them if they are complete. Let's take a nice breath in and out, maintaining relaxation as much as you can. And let's thank them for coming in and sharing with us. Okay, next, we're going to ask. Now, I intuited this last night, so this is meant for all of you, and it still feels right to ask. So ask of your team, what is your deepest longing and how to satisfy it? What is your deepest longing and how to satisfy it? From anybody on your team. Please don't throw away the first pancake, even if it doesn't make sense. You all must be doing a lot of good receiving because I'm getting the message, congratulations, on allowing these messages to come through.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Just a reminder, you could do this anytime. This could be a fun thing to do while you're vacuuming. First thing I saw, although that's a little bit loud, but okay. Ask if there's anything else about that message. And now the last part we're going to do is ask your team if there's a message they have for this whole group. They may not, but if they do. Okay, ask if there's anything else about that. And if you're taking notes, capture anything else you haven't written down yet. Even if it was like a little wisp of something you kind of picked up on, but you weren't sure, whatever it is, let's capture everything you got. Even if it sounds weird. The weirder, the better. And whenever you're ready, anything you want to share, I'm sure we would all love to hear.
I would love to share because I was very touched by what I've initially received and listened to you, get that first thing and write it down. So I did. The first thing that came to me, well, first of all, when we called in our guides and angels, I felt the total shoulder drop, body relaxation. The first thing I got was the name Don and thank you. And then I wrote down what you said about that song. And I'm like, well, wow, that's pretty crazy. He just passed. and I'm getting thank you, but I'm hearing what you said. It's a beautiful life. So I am taking that as a message from him. He's in a beautiful life where he is now. That's what I got from that. Another thing I got was follow the path and the word more, but I'm not quite sure what that meaning is. A lot of times when I receive things, they're very not clear. They're sometimes just a couple words. And then my longing is my work must keep going, must keep spreading love and light is what I got. And the message for the group was clearly keep going. You're important. That's what I got.
Wow, beautiful. I'd like to mention one of the clairs that I have only been experiencing for a couple of years. Now, I'm sure everybody here is an empath, and I don't need to tell you what that is. Just the energy sponge. We can respond to other people's energy easily. But I've noticed that there's something even more heightened, and I've heard it called clair empathy, so I kind of stick with that word. But so, Cindy, when you mentioned about Dawn, I could just feel the energy of not sadness or joy, but I'll just feel like sorry, I think I just had a hummingbird hang out by the window. But I'll feel an intensity and it will make my eyes water. Sometimes I've really cried. Anyway, I could really feel that when you were talking about Dawn, like, like there's nothing wrong in his world. Yeah.
Not anymore. His body is whole and healthy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you for that song. It just like brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, oh, that's part of the message, I think.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course. Who else would like to share? Please.
I need to go in a few minutes, but I just wanted to share. Wow, I'm gonna cry. My ex-husband passed recently, and he came and he said, "I'm sorry."
Mhm.
And I
That's
asked
beautiful.
him if he really ever loved me, and he said yes.
Mm.
I just got, of course.
I got chills. Thanks.
Oh.
And my message for the group was gratitude. Gratitude for all of you, and gratitude for this group and this ministry. And the message was keep going.
We both
Very
got the same message. I love it.
And with that, I have to say goodbye and thank you very much, Noelle.
My pleasure.
That really touched me.
Yes, sorry to hear about your loss, Laura.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Laura.
Very nice meeting you, Laura.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye. Nikki, did you have your hand up to share?
My message to the group was also keep going.
Oh my gosh. Now, come on. Is that a message or is that a message? Oh my goodness.
Well, we've been
If someone
working on our
else,
vision and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of falling into place that path needs to keep going.
wow, I just got goosebumps on that one. Absolutely. Wow.
It's interesting when you do a reading or, like a connection in this way as a group, sometimes you get overlap. You don't normally get three people getting the same exact message, but of course, anything is possible. Sometimes everybody will get a little different piece of things, but I love the overlap of this. Beautiful. Okay. Who else would like to share? Please, Sally.
Okay, and along that line, the message to all of us I got, and this was repeated over and over and over again with emphasis: cooperation is the key, love one another, and be tolerant and patient. And all of those were like repeated numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sally, why do you think they were repeated?
why do I think they were repeated? Because we need all of that.
Gotcha.
Patience is important.
we've had
Mhm.
some issues lately, and we're working through them. And I don't know, that's what came through loud and clear with exclamation points.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And just as you said that last part, what I just got a visual of is that it was repeated because it was for each person.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay.
That's how I saw it. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Okay.
Mhm.
Anybody else like to share?
Dolly, your lighting makes you look like an angel.
Go ahead, Katrina.
So I got to see my highest guide in a light that was never shown to me before. And that was really, really beautiful. It kind of makes me want to cry. And funny, at the same time, I got the feeling of like my ears popping, almost like being on a plane. And even like my crown, like being very, very full and just like lots of light. And guides that I know that I've had also before, and my mom and my grandma are always around me too. It was just a feeling of love, and the message that they had, like what I could do to support them and help them, was basically doing the things that I do. Loving and supporting myself and not feeling that I'm not ready for the things that I really am ready for, like pushing forward. And really, for me, the message for the group kind of, to me, was the same. It was more an image of ripples on the water, like, that drop that radiates out.
Mhm.
And the message really was more so that every person that this group touches, there's far reaching positive connections that are made that just keep continuing on and on. And that's showing that even though the group is small, it's growing and it's getting bigger. And that is so much, that's so important. The work is important. So it's gratitude for that. So I thought my message for the group was kind of similar.
Wow. Lots of great
Thanks for
info.
sharing.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
lovely.
Amazing.
So, yeah, when you mentioned about the group, Katrina, I got the word mighty when you were saying that they were small. But the whole time you were talking, well, not that you were talking about it for long, but once you mentioned your grandmother and mother, and since then, there is a man that I can visualize, a tall, slender man, kind of formally dressed. There's a part of me that was expecting him to dance, but if he was going to, it would have been kind of stiff and a little bit awkward for him. That just kind of wasn't his thing. But for some reason, I was waiting for that or watching for that. But he felt like, sorry, my impression was he was like, he didn't want you to forget that he's there too. And it had an energy or an air, he did, of, a family member. Not like partner energy, but maybe uncle or grandfather, maybe father. But and he was quiet. Okay, good.
My
Yeah,
grandmother.
yeah. And like he didn't really have anything to say. And a lot of times when people come through in that kind of way, they show us like pieces of their personality so you can recognize them. How they might dress, how they might stand in the corner somewhere sometimes, not talking. Yeah, please don't forget him because he is certainly around. Thank you so much for sharing, Katrina. Okay. Anybody else like to share? Please, Paula.
Basically, I'm focused on my book and asked if it was going to be finally successful, and it said yes, but I need patience and it will take months, and I will be getting more speaking engagements. But in the meantime, keep painting and drawing. The message for the group was believe you are always the best you can be, and it will be so. Don't wait, just do it. And then I got a beautiful message from Arnold and Kay sending love and blessings our way for all of us. And Arnold is the one who created our ministry, and Kay was his wife. So they're here.
Amen. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing, Paula. And as you started sharing, Paula, I was seeing you writing in something in script, like a message. And then when you mentioned about doing a book, the thought had come to me about maybe it was book signing. But I could clearly see you writing something, and you have
Mhm.
very deliberate penmanship. It's very pretty,
Mhm.
very curvy.
Catholic school. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
But
Hey,
yes, well,
I
I'm very deliberate when I sign and when I autograph a book for a person. If it's a person I don't know, I take some time to get to know them a little bit, but I want it to be personalized.
Mhm.
So
I
when
wanted
I
to
read
thank you.
Paula, when I read your book, I was so moved because I already saw you book signing, because you are a voice for so many that don't have the strength to speak. You are their voice, and you are going to touch so many people's lives by your book. I truly feel that. If you haven't read Paula's book, it's wonderful. I highly recommend it to everybody in the ministries. Very well written. Very well
Thank
written.
you.
You're welcome,
you.
Paula.
Other people have said it's like having me sit there and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I never shut up.
Lovely.
We know that. Go ahead, Charlie.
Go ahead,
Can you put
Charlie,
your book
please.
in the chat?
Yeah, please. And I saw actually you as not just a voice, but a megaphone.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
me. Those of you who know me, yeah, that's me.
yep. And the big auditorium with a bunch of people. I see it already. Yes.
Beautiful. Please, Charlie.
Yeah. I woke up this morning thinking about the ministry, the continuity of it doesn't seem to be growing. I was concerned about it. So I'm very pleased that what's developed out of this morning session. What I got was a stream of people, lots of people that have been and are supporting the ministry. Now, I didn't recognize any of the faces, but there was a constant stream of faces going through that seemed to be somehow involved. They're part of our development. And regarding the woman, I saw the Divine Mother, or the image of Mother Mary, surrounded by flames, and I wondered what that was. And then I saw like a king with a sword by its side. And what that told me was that usually the sword is cutting out the DOS to greater spiritual awareness, getting rid of the fowler's net, so to speak. And what I got from the Divine Mother surrounded in fire, the fire is that which burns away that which separates us from one another.
Hmm.
So somebody is doing mwah to your message. And actually what came to me, I got big confirmation chills about the faces. My impression was the faces are the faces of those in spirit, and it makes me want to cry, because I can feel the intensity of those that have been and will be influenced by by the ministry and its work.
Mm.
And there's a lot of heartfelt energy around that. I can really feel that.
Oh, and the other thing is, I got a lot of hearts.
Oh, love.
Thank you.
That's love. You
Beautiful.
know, we might be a small group of people, but we all must remember we all work our ministries in our daily lives with the people that we talk, the lives that we touch. So that's, just the people that I come across in the work that I do, that's a lot of people. I'm just one person. And I talk all the time about my wonderful ministries and the people in it. So, you know what? We do touch a lot of people's lives, and growing is important. I agree. It would be nice to bring on more people, but be gentle with yourselves is, I guess, what I want to say.
And
Thank
Charlie,
you.
when you were talking, I kept seeing and hearing from Mo Hayner.
Yeah.
Oh, Mo,
I'm
yeah.
gonna cry. And her
Mm.
telling me, you guys are doing it. You're doing fine. I'm here.
Oh,
You didn't know Mo Noelle, but she was a hoot. She was
Yeah.
also a mover. Yeah, she was.
Just remarkable
Her
woman.
clown act was better than the circus, but she was a mover and a shaker. She did things, she took care of all kinds of people, and she was just marvelous. So it's nice to know, for my sake, that she's still pushing us forward. And that's what I'm seeing her doing this. So thanks, Mo.
Charlie, wasn't Mo when I was ordained? Didn't I meet her
Yes.
No, she was long gone.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
long
she was-
before? Okay, it was a different person. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were in Sedona. Cindy, no?
yeah,
In those
yes,
Well,
ordinations,
maybe
she
she
was
did.
there.
she was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, she
Yeah.
was. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, because I
That was her
remember
last one.
she was a very beautiful woman. Her energy was amazing. Yeah.
And the reason she chose Mo is that's the mother, the heart of the mother. And she reached out and she helped a lot of AIDS people. She worked with hospice people. She did and she had a great sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
I loved her clothes. She dressed really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she always left some behind. Every time she saw us, she'd leave something there.
Yeah, she was cool.
Okay, Kevin, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I had a couple of things come through. The first one was something I wrote, what beats me down strengthens me. And then I was corrected and told not to use the word beat, but wears me down, because beats has such a strong reaction. And the other thing I got was, for the message for the group, was look up to see better and look around. We are on the right track with our writings. That was all that came through in that.
Very nice.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Did you get a message for the group, Kevin?
That was it.
Okay.
To look up to see better, and to look around to what we have, and we're on the right track with our writings. And I assume that to be the mission statement we wrote last week.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have time for one more, Noelle, quickly?
Absolutely.
So did you say a figure eight?
Mhm.
Look at
So
that.
it's kind of a weird figure eight. I
Yes,
drew
it is.
that this I
That's a
drew that
quantum
this-
8.
I drew that this morning. I was visiting with my spirit guides and soul partners. It was about tension. And I looked up the origin of the word tension. It is to extend and to stretch. To extend and to stretch. So then I embrace, relish, and joyfully welcome the tension. There is creation and growth there.
Oh,
Like that.
powerful
And one
message.
last thing, I don't look at us as wackos. I look at
Well, that's
us
nice.
as extended sensory perception or greater awareness, that our awareness is greater than some and lesser than others. So it's an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you. The message I got for the group is you're terrific, pleasing, wonderful, and loving. We love you so much. And that felt like that was from everybody's group, team. Thank you all so much. When you get off this call, consider calling all of your own energy back to you. That was how I was planning on closing, but I'm just feeling aware of the time. But thank you so much for having me here. This was really fun and nice connecting with all of you. And
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
service, Noelle.
Thank you
Yeah, it
so
was really
much.
nice.
Indeed, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay, take care.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good week.
All right.
Love you
All
all.
right.
That was awesome.
What are we doing next week?
Next week is Terry. She comes back and she wants to work on the pendulum work again. So she had given us
cool.
those documents. So let me send that again to you this week so you have it. It's a PDF
Okay.
with more teachings about the pendulum work.
Awesome.
Good. And I did put the name of my book in the chat if anybody is interested in checking it out.
Perfect.
Also,
Okay.
Shame.
she recommended the dowsing organization for the stains. They have a lot of really good videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
thank you,
And
Kevin.
I've been watching them. And
Oh, neat.
there's a lot of them there.
Cool. Well,
All
thank you.
sorts of different dowsing techniques and ideas.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thanks, Kevin.
Well, everybody have a good week.
Okay, see you later.
Love you all.
Thank you.